you gotta pray. You gotta pray. You gotta read the Bible. You gotta do it every day. If you want to build that consistency, you gotta pray every day. Hi guys, this lighting is really weird. Like I don't know how to sit without making the window get all on me, but it's fine. Okay, so first of all, happy summer. This is technically my second video of the summer because I just posted a Disney vlog. If y'all didn't watch it, it's gonna be up here, I think, up here on one of these sides, up here. If you didn't watch it, click that link. So that's technically my first video of the summer, but it wasn't filmed during the summer. It was filmed in March or whatever. So this is technically my first video of the summer, so I hope you guys have been enjoying your summer. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, this video is going to be 5 things to know when starting your spiritual journey, I guess you can call it. I'm probably going to come up with a better title after making this video. I don't really know what to title it, but I know what it's going to be about. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I have is called starting fresh. So that's basically just about like how I started, I want to say, because like my family has always been Christian. We've never been raised in like a really Christian household where we like learned about those kind of things and stuff. I just knew like to believe in God and who God was and heaven and all that kind of stuff, like just the basics. So like all of this is like I had to start this journey on my own. I didn't really have much assistance. I didn't have like anybody helping me, like a close source. This is all my doing, and like people on social media, but like I don't have anybody like family or anything like that. So I had to really like start from the bottom is what I'm trying to say. So I started that's 2022, yeah, January of 2022. I saw TikTok and it was like this girl, she was trying to read the Bible in 1 year and it's like her 7th year trying to do it and she never can. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like a fun challenge. I'm gonna try it. And it was like no reason in particular. I just was like, I want to try it too. I downloaded this app and then I just read every day, and I had to kind of work my way up and start different patterns and try to read them once, and then I did finish it. I want to say, I think on New Year's I finished it December 31st, and then January 5th of 2023 this year I restarted and I'm reading the Bible every day again. So that's kind of how I started. It literally just started for me reading the Bible every day, because like how else can you get close with God if you're not reading his word? Like, so yeah, that's one way how I started fresh. I started reading the Bible off the bat with no prior knowledge of the Bible. I didn't even know how anything worked in the Bible. I didn't know it was called paragraphs or verses and da da da. That's how I started. Yeah, and then the second thing, this year, the way I got close with God, because last year it was my first year and obviously I went in like really ignorantly, so I kind of like fell short in a lot of places. So this year I wanted to make sure I didn't do that. So I participated in Lent this year, and if you don't know what Lent is, it's particularly celebrated by Catholics. You don't eat meat on Fridays, and then you can like restrain from doing one thing of your choice that like you usually not suffer with, like something that you like need to let go of. I chose Instagram because Instagram was like the most toxic thing in my life, truly. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of Instagram. And I'm not Catholic, like I don't practice Catholicism, but I was like, I still kind of want to try it. So I did some research. I'm like, do you have to be Catholic to do it? And they're like, I mean, technically no. A lot of Baptist people do it too, and plus technically it's just fasting. So like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I'm not Catholic, but I participated in Lent, but I just did it anyway, because I read that you can do it without being Catholic, and I feel like it'd be a good time for me to get closer with God, because Lent is in February, so the year I technically like just started. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. So for Lent, I gave up Instagram, and I couldn't use Instagram for the 40 something days that Lent was, and I couldn't eat meat on Fridays. I literally probably eat like meat one time on a Friday, and then I realized and I wouldn't eat it for the rest of the Friday. So I kind of like slipped up a little bit, but it wouldn't be like an every Friday thing. It'd be like a one-time Friday thing, and it would never be intentional. Anyway, yeah. If that's not for you, then don't participate in Lent, I guess. But you can always just fast. Like, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be Lent for you to fast. That was my only time that I fasted before was for Lent, because I don't know, it gave me structure. But you can fast anytime. You can give up anything. You can do however you want. Anywho, yeah, I did Lent. I didn't eat meat on Fridays. I gave up social media, and during my time during Lent, I created some patterns. I started plans, Bible plans, learned about different things. I listened to different pastors. I listened to Pastor Sarah J. Roberts and Pastor Mike Todd and learned some stuff about them. Got taught some stuff, got the wisdom in me, and yeah, it was really nice. And I feel like if I didn't do Lent, I would not be where I am right now as far as like my relationship with God. So I feel like Lent literally saved me. Like, if you think about doing Lent, well, obviously you can't do it anymore until next year. So if you think about fasting to get closer to God, I'm telling you, like, that literally, it did it for me. Like, I can't even explain. Like, I feel like I underwent a life change. Like, it definitely, I'm not the same person I was before Lent. And that sounds a little bit dramatic, but I'm serious. So yeah, starting fresh, do Lent, read the Bible, and learn about what Christianity is as a whole. The next bullet point I have here in my notes is consistency. So this is a question I get all the time. How do you be consistent? I'm struggling with consistency, this and that. I literally hear it all the time. Like, I'm not being dramatic. Every time I post about it, like, yes, I want to do this, I want to do X, Y, Z, but I can't stay consistent. I don't know when. Let me tell you how. A lot of people feel like Michael Todd is controversial, but he literally taught me this one thing. He said that you need to have patterns. He had like 3 P's. He was like, one of the P's, patterns. And what he meant by that is you need to establish a pattern. And the reason that you cannot be consistent is because you don't have a pattern. So after watching that, I definitely established a pattern, and during Lent. And what I did was I read every time I'm in the shower. So literally I'll get in the shower and then I'll read whatever book of the Bible I'm on. And then when I get out the shower, I'll read the book of Psalms until I'm done getting dressed, and then I'll be done. So you literally have to have a pattern. Like, I do that every day. I don't change it. I obviously don't take a shower at the same day. Not same day. I obviously don't take a shower at the same time every day, but when I do get in the shower, it's the same thing. Like, I'll be on the phone with my boyfriend, I'll be like, hey, I gotta go. And he already knows what that means, because he knows, like, reestablishing. When I'm in the shower, that's time for God, nobody else. So I get in the shower, read the Bible, get out the shower, read the Bible. Then I'm done, I go back in my room, and I'll get back into whatever I was. Based on the length of my showers, it definitely differs, but I can, on average, I'll probably read, like, a minimum of 3 chapters, and then a maximum of, like, when I do my everything showers, I think I've read like 12 chapters in one shower. And then when I read the book of Psalms, I read anywhere from 2 to however. So it just differs, but it's just the fact that when I'm in the shower, that's my time for God. And last year when I first started reading the Bible, I definitely read it. I would read it like every other day. Sometimes I read it every day, sometimes I read it every other day. It was hard for me to find a pattern, because it'd be like, okay, on one day I might read it at like 7 in the morning, but then the next day I might be busy at 7 in the morning. So it's like, where do you find that balance at? So that's the most important thing. If you want to stay consistent, you have to set a pattern. Whether that be you do it as soon as you wake up, whether it be you do it 10 o'clock at night, it doesn't matter. But you have to have a pattern that's comfortable for you, that works with you, that you can stick with. Also, I just want to add, praying every day is a necessity. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's kind of like a misconception. Like, some people say you don't have to read the Bible to be close with God. You don't have to pray every day. Yes, you do. There's no rules on Christianity. There's no rules on how to be a good Christian. But, I mean, like, it's in the Bible. Like, you have to read the Bible. Like, how can you be close with God if you don't even read his word? How can you be close with God if you don't even talk to him? Like, you gotta pray every day, you know. Like, and reading the Bible is praying. I don't just read the Bible. Like, I pray right before I go to sleep. I pray as soon as I wake up. I'm just saying, reading the Bible is a must. Like, you can't not do it. Like, you have to do it. I'm sorry, you gotta pray, you gotta read the Bible, you gotta do it every day. If you want to build that consistency, you gotta pray every day. And obviously it's going to be a huge adjustment. Like, some people, they probably don't say grace, they probably don't pray every morning, every night, and that's definitely going to be like something you have to adjust over time. But eventually you gotta do it. Like, come on, as long as you realize that that's something you have to do and that's something you're working on, then you're on the right track. Okay, I'm glad I moved to that topic a little quickly, because I feel like I spent a lot of time on the starting fresh part, so hopefully I don't take too long. For the next section, it's the apps that I use. So the app that I started with when I first started reading the Bible in 2022 is called Read Scripture. I'm gonna have it some right here, and I also have the link in my bio. This is how it looks. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, this is how it looks. So it looks a little confusing, but let me tell you how they organize it. They literally organize it in as a story. So they have everything titled. So the book of Genesis is the title. The chapter of that is called Creation and Fall. And then Genesis and Exodus, there's the covenant with Abraham, the Exodus from Egypt. Okay, then you can scroll down. You see when you read the book of Matthew through Acts, it's called Jesus and the Kingdom. Chronicles, the story so far. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, the return from the exile. So they literally categorize it as if it was a literal book. I mean, I know it's a book, organize everything perfectly so that it's easy to understand. And when you use this app, I don't use the videos anymore. I did when I first started. I don't now, because I mean, I kind of know what the books are. I'm not like an expert on the Bible or anything, but I'm like not unfamiliar with it. But they provide videos on every book. So every time you start a new book, there's a video for it. Let me see, that was the book for Exodus. Then there's a video, and this is the video for Genesis. There's a video for everything. The videos are amazing. I'm telling y'all, like, they're like story animations. Let me see.
The book of Genesis is the first book
It's so beautiful. Like, they literally deserve so much praise and recognition, because the time that must take them going to that is definitely something I would not be able to do. But anyway, I started off with that. Now they have the little summaries or whatever. They have a lot of pictures, stuff, and videos, and then down here they have the chapters. And yeah, now I would do that. And another reason it was hard for me to stay consistent is because I literally have like anxiety, and I probably have like ADHD too. So it's like I'd be sitting there, I'd be reading, like after like reading 3 chapters, you kind of get like, I don't want to say bored, but I just start like zoning out, and then I'll just end up like quitting. So I was like, okay, how do I kind of like meet myself in the middle? So I got another app. It's called YouVersion Bible. If you go on the app store, it's gonna call it Bible, but everybody refers to it as YouVersion. So YouVersion is literally the audiobook version of the Bible. So they still have the words, so I definitely use the words, but there's like a person who talks. Let me see if I can play it.
Psalm 81. Sing praises to God, our strength. Sing to the God of Jacob.
You can, I'm pretty sure you can change the voice, I think. Yeah, you can switch your narrator. I don't switch mine because I love that man. But yeah, it has the words, and then it has the audio as well, and it has all the books right here. So this is the main feature of it, just reading the Bible. That's what I use it for, because it's like I cannot stay focused enough. So when I'm in the shower, I literally just set the phone up, just read along and listen, and it's perfect for me, and it works for me. It might not work for you. Some people might not like audio book versions, but it works for me. There's literally so much stuff you can use. So they have the guided daily prayers. There's videos too for the verse of the day, and I get a verse of the day every morning. I think I get it at 8 a.m. You can choose whenever you get it. I used to put 7 a.m. when I was in school, then I should just say 8 a.m. because who knows what time I wake up every morning during the summer. So there's verse of the day, and then my favorite thing is the plans. So there's different plans. Like if you're suffering from anxiety, there's plans for that. You're new to the faith, it's perfect for some people who's watching this video. Plans for that, and you literally can just search up anything. Like you're struggling with a drug addiction, sexual impurity, there's anxiety, healing, anger. And if you're not suffering from any of that, you can literally just look up whatever you want. But the most, like, I want to say basic ones, like there's pride, temptation, doubt, jealousy, all kind of stuff. You can look up more specific stuff, like you're going through a breakup, you're going through a drug addiction, that kind of stuff. There's plans for basically everything. I've done a lot of plans, and let me see, there's also badges when you do complete a plan. Let me see if I have any. Plan subscription. I did a lot of plans during Lent, and yeah, they have a lot of stuff. And then they have a guided prayer. I don't know where it's located. Oh, here it goes. There's daily prayer. You can do it every day. I get mine at 11. I've been falling short with this, but I can get back right. There's guided prayers. So there's different stuff. You can draw, which I really love because, like I already said, I zone out a little bit. So you can just draw, you read. They have different scriptures, and then they have your own prayers. I have my own prayers. A prayer for others, God's protection, God's will. And you can have as many prayers as you want. And it's literally perfect. So like I was saying, this app really has so much that people just, I feel like, don't know, and they think that it's just like a audiobook app, but there's so much more to it. So those are the apps I use. I literally, that's my second most asked question: what app? Read scripture, YouVersion. When I post stuff, it's always going to be YouVersion. So if you ever see me post something, or have highlights and stuff, that kind of stuff, you follow me on social media, it's going to be from YouVersion. So I'm not gatekeeping or anything. That's the app. It's a very popular app, so I'm not gatekeeping, I promise. Okay, we have 2 more bullet points. So I have discernment, and discernment is kind of like, let me look up the Google definition because I don't want to like butcher it. Definition of discernment. In Christian context, perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding, or the ability to judge well. So I always say use discernment because it's like, I might look at something a certain way. Like, let me use Michael as an example. I keep bringing him up because, like, I feel like he's been very trending in the Christian world. But I saw somebody say, if you think that Mike Todd is a good preacher, use discernment. If you feel like you want to watch him still after what happened with the Easter sermon, then you use discernment. If you feel like that he's not going to draw you into sin, if you feel like he's teaching you a lot, use discernment. That's up to you. You judge how that's going to affect you, how it's going to affect your relationship with God, how it's going to affect how you behave. Use discernment. The point under that is staying away from things that will drag you into sin. So everybody has their own sin that like affects them the most. Some people it's like sexual impurities, some people it's drugs, some people it's gossip, some people it's stealing, this and that. everybody has their own sin. Like, we all sin, but everybody has that one sin that they try to stay away from and they just can't. So I recommend staying away from things that will drag you to that sin. So if your stuff that you struggle with is like drugs, like gossip, stay away from wild parties that you know are going to have drugs and gossip. If you feel like you're going to go to that party and relapse and start doing drugs again and start gossiping and not representing yourself in a way that you would want to in front of God, don't go. Like, don't go to things that you're not going to drag you into that, you know? My final topic, I didn't really know what to title it, so it's just a question. Are you representing yourself as a Christian? I saw this on TikTok before, and this girl literally said, she was like, if you sat there and asked a couple people, would you think I'm Christian? And they said no, you're doing something wrong. And don't take this the wrong way and say like, oh yeah, it matters like how other people see you, because not everybody's going to feel like you're a Christian even if you are a Christian. At the end of the day, it's up to you and God, your relationship. But if you're doing things that does not represent Christianity, if you're doing things that are literally the complete opposite of Christianity, and you're not behaving as a Christian, that definitely is going to affect your relationship with God. It's going to affect like everything. It's going to make it a whole lot harder for you to completely sanctify yourself and be saved if you're not even behaving like a Christian in itself. If you're going to a lot of wild parties, if you're posting bad stuff on social media, if you're being rude to people, if you're cursing a lot, people aren't going to look at you and feel like, oh yeah, she's like my Christian role model. They're going to look at you and just feel like, I'm not going to say anything, but y'all know what I mean. All I'm going to say is, between you and God, pray, meditate, do what you got to do, and get yourself together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of different. I've never posted like anything about my fate or anything. I haven't been posting that much anyway, but just saying. So I feel like I needed to make the what I definitely feel like I need to make this video for people who are trying to start the same way I did, because I definitely was lost and I didn't have any like friends that could help me do it. So I had to do everything from social media, basically from strangers, and it's definitely easier if you have somebody that you can trust or like you look up to or you can confide in. So if you ever need anything, you ever have any questions, please feel free to DM me. My DMs have been in my bio, my Instagram, my TikTok. I think that's it. Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, my Instagram, my TikTok. I don't use Snapchat. I've always been in my bio since day one. So if you ever need anything, you can do that. And I respond to comments, so you can comment as well if you ever need anything. And I hope this video was informal. I hope I don't sound like I'm just saying a whole lot of gibberish, because I know that I always have struggles like enunciating my words and like being clear, and like I try to make sense, but I just don't sometimes. So if you guys feel like that, please text me, and I hope that I was a little bit helpful, even if I was a little confusing. And yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I'm currently at 932. Why I getting 2 subscribers? Okay, I'm at 932 and I'm trying to get to 1K before June 11th, which is in 9 days. So if you can help me reach my goal in the next 9 days, that'd be great. And if you have any video suggestions or anything you need to tell me, feel free to comment. Bye.